introduce our other relevant guests, much more relevant. Let's talk about Mr. Dion in the building. Dauda, how's it going, man?
I mean, life is great. Life is good. God is good. Finally, I have cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
So I'm living.
Last time we met, you were quite the popper. We were all quite the poppers.
I was the popper of poppers.
Yeah. Don't worry. Things have changed now. Good to have you back, man.
The popping popper.
Nice one. Have you met Deck?
Well, we just met, but I can already tell he's a good fellow.
Wow. Mr. Deck, good to have you back, man.
Same here, man.
Yeah, we still last time
I'm thinking I'll probably have like a permanent spot here.
You should be the
join
next
gang.
Yeah, be the next gang. It's all good. Well, you haven't made good on your promise. We haven't written out yet, so we have to do that sometime soon.
Yes, we will do
that. All right, so yes, I'm always very reluctant to introduce this guy because so it says the right things, quick-witted and all. But let me just do him the honors just this one last time. Mr. GANG is in the building. 10 gang, how's it going, man? What is that?
The Negro table. The table for men. Real men. Great to be here. It's a good Friday. It's we're in good spirits. It's good topics that we're talking about.
We've got quite the topics today. Very
fantastic. Great to see these guys. I've seen them before. It's always fun having them.
How are you enjoying your vacation, your leave?
Well, it's good because I'm getting a chance to rest, to work on myself, and spend time with my kids.
That's nice.
My girls, including wifey. You know.
See, when I said he says the right things every single time, he makes us look bad. Always, but we're not gonna let that happen.
Gotta get some. I haven't had some this week. So this weekend.
There's something you probably shouldn't let slide though.
What's up?
During the intro, he said he was going to do you. Then he now said the honors.
And then you said I shouldn't let it slide.
We've not even started. Come on. Let's save that to the middle of the show when we're all inebriated. But for now, let's take a very short break. When we get back, we sink our teeth into our very, very, very juicy topics for today. You guys are going to want to be a part of this. So remember to use the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. We're going to get that little segment at the end of the show to actually, let you have your voice in there. So make sure you've got that, ready so you can send in your messages. Let's take a quick break. And when we get back, our first quick fire topic.
You always take the bill on the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Welcome back. Now, like we said from before, it is time for the Black Table. Our first quick fire topic is a very interesting one. Was a post on social media about this guy who was asked a question about men and women, men versus women, and his reaction was, men tend to undervalue themselves while women tend to overvalue themselves. He gave an instance. Growing up as a man, your group of friends, they always like, Dion, this your hair will be like this, you look, your nose is ugly and all this kind of thing. We have this community where we berate ourselves to the extent that we're not reaching for much. We're not like, yeah, I know I'm ugly. But women, however, grow up hearing, oh, you look so beautiful. Oh, that's a nice hair. You look this and so and so. So the first time they ever hear anything that's disparaging in any way, shape, or form, they often feel like, oh my God, there's a lack of self-worth. But we've kind of like acclimatized to it from growing up.
We absorbed it already.
We absorb things very easily. It goes on to other aspects of life, whether it's social, whether it's professional. They just feel that I should be, not praised, but I should be. They want that accolade consistently. I don't know if it's the same, if you guys believe what this guy is saying, but I think that there is sense in what he's saying. If you agree, I don't know. Do you?
I agree 100% because a lot of women hear the praises of being called queens, princesses, looking good, you're beautiful, you're adorable, basically compliments almost all their life, and nobody really tells them anything negative, or to an extent, nobody really tells them the truth. But I can use myself as an example. When I was growing up, people used to say, oh, look at you and your big head. Look, even jokingly, look at you. In fact, they used to call me egghead at some point. To the point that I got used for some of these nicknames that might be seen in a negative light, but you just take it with your full chest as a man. Because you really don't have that expectation for somebody to say from birth how you're handsome, good looking, and all those praises while you grow up. Men don't receive that. We don't receive those praises that make us feel good. We receive more negative stuff that makes us work hard to impress. Makes us fight hard to say, you know what, I'm going to become this to get this. You get where I'm coming from?
So let's talk about the implications now. Does that have an implication in when they're older and they're in relationships, for instance? Or let's talk about the relationship angle. When they get these comments from a partner that says, no, I've had that experience where before I got married, I was dating this girl who was very, very shallow. And the first time I told her that maybe you should read more.
Problem.
Boom.
You started a fight.
That was it. That ended the relationship. So is that as a result of them growing up always hearing these accolades being thrown their way, these, comments about how good they look and all of that? Do you agree?
Well, I mean, I would also say it's not just with the issues they have growing up, having heard all of that a lot of times, because there are some ladies who probably haven't heard the same. I would say it's a desire thing just due to the fact that they are female. Let me give you an example. I watched this series some months ago, American Gods. And then there's this part, right?
American Gods, yeah.
Where one goddess, Bilkish, she was sleeping with this guy. And it seemed like, the sex was great, but it wasn't so great until he started worshipping her while he was sleeping with her. And then when he gave enough worship, at least to the point where it boosted her morale so much, she was growing, she ate him with her juice box.
Yeah, I saw that part. That was wild.
I mean, it was crazy to me. Like, what does this mean? And then I thought about it. Does that technically mean that, in that process, when you're doing the same to a lady, you're elevating the level of pleasure at the time? So it's a mental thing. They just constantly desire that glorification. And it just makes everything better. The moment it seems like there's a flaw, which they don't want you to
stop
see.
worshipping them.
Dick,
Did you have an experience here?
before we look at everything, right, we have to start from the grassroots. We oftentimes and not have people look at the female as, the bulk of the people who we need to spend more time, showering accolades, making them feel a certain type of way. Matter of fact, in the society today, we don't even hear a lot of people talk about the boy child. We talk about the girl child, the girl child, the girl child. And a lot of the time I ask myself, so what happens to the boy child? Gang said something. He said, they used to say, big head, big head. At some point, big head will stick.
Yeah.
They probably think his head is big, right? But a girl, if you tell a girl, in fact, if a boy tells a girl, big head, she will cry and meet with the teacher, and the teacher will tell you, you call that a big head? It's a huge
it's
deal.
Not balanced. It's not balanced across the gender.
There cannot be balance. And the reason is because, now, the girl child, like, I'm not even saying that they're not, as important, right? But I feel like we should have a balance, so to speak, right? But the social construct does not allow for that, for different reasons. One,
do you think we're trying to be better because of the experience that we've had? Because of that disparaging,
If we're looking at it from that angle, you realize that already a girl child growing into a woman, when she becomes, the head of, an organization, for instance, right? I could walk up to a male who is like a CEO, and I talk to that CEO and say, sir, you're looking sweet today, right? If I said that same thing to a lady, it would be considered inappropriate.
You get a fine.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Probably
So
get
there's
sacked,
certain
actually.
things that, I don't know, it just doesn't work.
That's the thing,
because
when it
when
comes
there
to
are
the
levels to
aspect
it.
of success,
So,
yeah,
from
I
the
would like to
grassroots
think-
to that level.
I'd like to think that we're the when it comes to the level to how we attain success or how we treat success, that we work for it harder. We've been my next quick fire topic, and this one is very interesting. It's going to knock your socks off. Does educational background matter in a relationship? Substance your answer. Now, this was a response to this guy. This is Alundu who put this up, and then there was a response from Fasha. It says somebody delivered a pizza that we did not order, and we were required to sign a paper. I wasn't around. My woman signed, and that's how we lost our house.
Whoa.
So, does education matter when you're choosing a partner? You're the only one here who has not chosen a partner.
A life partner.
A life partner. This is something that you need to consider quite
These
frankly.
partners, don't worry, I have a long list of them.
Are they educated? And is that a what's it called?
I'm
To
very
collecting?
happy. I've never been. I'm sorry, with a dumbie.
Ooh, you might have
happy
just don't know.
with a dumbie.
You haven't spent long enough.
No, well, thank God. If I did spend long enough to find out you were a dumb one, I mean, I feel dumb too.
It's not even about being dumb, yeah. It's about the fact that this person, the partner, might be uneducated. I don't know if you get me, gang.
I get you big time, and it's a big deal. Education really, really matters. Although this person's story about how you can't sell a house just like that by signing off on a piece of paper. That's not
True,
how
but
houses
just to
go.
put it into
But
context.
just put it into context. Education is a big deal. Like if we just look at there was something I put up on my social media about how is it okay for spouses to have different political opinions and want to vote for different parties, and a lot of people responded and said it shouldn't be a big deal. Some people said it is a big deal. So sometimes you just expect your partner has a level of intelligence to apprehend what's going on in the real world, in society. You get season, but she doesn't have to get into the conversation. But she can simply be smart enough to say, you know what, it's your thing, let me bounce. Not trying to now come in and be like, she now calls the wrong player, the wrong, you don't have to engage in that conversation. But you know, there's book smart, there's street smart.
Yeah.
Let them have at least one of the smarts.
And if they have none?
And if they have none, that's side chick material. She's only good for one thing.
So
Yeah, man. Call and collect.
so I would like to say that the context of education shouldn't be the issue here.
That's what we're judging with.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, the reason why I said that is because, you know, Africa, Nigeria especially, it's really hard for you to find someone who isn't educated, right?
At least to some level.
To some level, at least bad
Yeah.
secondary school level, right? So I would be talking from a perspective of intelligence, all right? For someone to be intelligent enough to know exactly when and what to say. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Do you understand? So I'm not looking at it that the person has to be smart.
You know what? I think
Look at
we're
the
being
street
too
smart,
academic about this.
but you're educated.
We're being
right?
too academic about this. Let me put it this way. First of all, I hate the word sapiosexual, so I'm not going to use that word at all.
Right.
But are you more attracted to people who are educated than you are to people who are less educated? That's in secondary school. Does that affect your choice? I'm not asking you, don't worry.
No. Hold on. So my wife is very well educated and highly street smart.
Okay, so she's got both. She's got both.
Right?
ends.
So she has both. Right? But I wanted to marry a lady with a British accent. For one reason or the other. I don't know why.
She can fake it.
You could have
I
married
don't
someone
know
already
why. I wanted to marry a lady with a
She
British
can either
accent.
fake it
But
or
for
always
me,
be talking.
for me, that was for me.
Good morning.
But I love my wife very much, and you know, she speaks very good English, right? And for me, it's not. I mean, so some people marry for different reasons. Some people don't even want to marry someone that is smart enough to know exactly what's happening in their finances. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of the time, people want to marry for specific reasons. You know, education or no education.
Can I jump in
I
that
want to
way?
say something real quick before you go, guys. Maybe you should have chosen somebody from Urban FM. They're all faking their accents. What are we going to say?
None of them are faking British.
Well, they're faking plenty.
They're not faking. Yes, they're on their personality switches.
So there
on
was
and
this
off.
one I listened to. You have to trust me.
Those are not personalities
That's the wrong
anymore.
station. That's the leader.
It was your one.
To be
Please, guys. What you were going to say?
Okay, see now you've lost my train
I'm
of
so
thought.
sorry,
No,
man.
but here's the thing. I feel, to an extent, if you're with your partner, like I tell people, by the time sex is off the table, other things are off the table. What do you do with your partner? You have intelligence, and so do I, where you can explain certain things. And for me, I always cherish somebody that's inquisitive, somebody that asks questions, somebody that's not ashamed to say, I don't know, teach me. I don't know, I want to learn. I want to find out. I want to know the reasons why. So if that person is intelligent enough to be that kind of person, even if the person is not educated as you see him, because there are a lot of dumb educated people.
That's what
A lot of people that went to school and they're still dumb. Yeah, you can.
British. No, hold on. British accent scatter everywhere.
I think this is where
but
your
this
problem
girl, wait, hold on. No, hold on. This girl doesn't know nothing.
In it.
No, she will be giving you, like, you know, they ask her a very simple question, right? And she's like, okay, so they say, what's the simplest question? Maybe like 2 + 2. And she's like 5? With a British accent. In it. 5?
That didn't
It's 5 in it. You get me? Like, and I'm like, British accent. Like, with the British accent. That's it in the end. Right? You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to look at it both ways.
Yeah.
You have to look at it from the perspective that some people want to marry
So it's your
women
preference
who aren't particularly well educated, so that they can swindle them a couple of times.
Some people have that
Some people also want to marry people. You know, some people don't have problems marrying
Okay,
people
there
who
are
are
things you
more
can do in this
intelligent.
kind of
My wife
situation,
speaks
just to help
French.
yourself.
She speaks Dutch.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't know how to speak anything. In fact, most of the
Was
time
that what
when I
attracted
talk
you to her?
Is she like
I
a
didn't
proper
even know
lady?
that I was speaking French until we traveled abroad. And then the next thing, somebody was speaking French. And then, so I just heard a response from the band.
Now you.
Laissez passer, savez, va. I'm like,
All right, real quick, yeah. We'll come back to this because we're expecting messages from our audience. So let's do our quick fire 3. Quick fire 3 is about this lady who actually experienced this very unfortunate instance where she discovered that her husband of 10 years had another woman that he was married to. Now, this is a story that we've heard many times, especially when it comes to the fact, to the instance where the parties are apart. In this case, she's in the UK and the husband is here in Nigeria and got married to somebody else. It's a story that we've heard so many times. So I don't even know why it's a surprise to her. Would you leave the country? Would you leave the country with your spouse to try and save your marriage, or would it be that no, don't worry, you go, let me stay here? Would your wife expect that when you're here that you're not going to be creeping around or perhaps maybe eventually get married? I don't know. Personally, I will not go anywhere without my wife. I think that it is a safeguard for me, not even her. I trust her. But
So
it
you're
is a
helping
safeguard.
yourself.
No, you have to put these safeguards in place. Don't say because I trust myself, I'm not going to do anything.
Nothing
Don't
like
try.
that.
Don't tempt the devil.
Temptation come.
You know.
I agree with you to an extent, because something about being faithful, something about fidelity is knowing that you can be that way even when the person is not around. It's not good. I'm just giving some advice real quick before I get into what I want to say.
Okay.
It's like, don't put yourself in his shoes to say, if you're not around me, I'm going to do this. You get where I'm coming from? If you're not around me, I can't handle this. No. Whether you're here or not, and I'm saying this from experience because, like, you know, I've lived away from my family when I was in Port Harcourt, when I was in Ibadan, and sometimes when I was in Lagos as well. And it wasn't easy, but that kind of distance can work. But now when it comes to another country, now I want these women that are abroad to take note. When Nigerian men are abroad and they're proposing, I want to get married to you, you need to do your homework well enough to find out if they have somebody back home in Niger.
True.
You get me? Because a lot of men are trying to get green cards, just trying to secure some kind of security abroad.
Yeah.
So they'll do anything just to lock that down and then have homes. Before you marry the man that you want to, do your research, come back home, do the visitations, meet the right people, ask the right questions to know whether that guy is involved with someone else. You get where I'm coming from? But like me, I don't advocate distant relationships work for some people. They don't work for some people, but thank God for me, I was months away from my family and I used to travel every month or every other week. Before I now said, we can't take it. My wife said she couldn't take it as well. Moved the family over, we're all in Lagos together. But sometimes, I'm not saying you should test yourself, like Zeno said now, I'm not saying you should test yourself, but sometimes you should be able to be away from home.
Yeah.
And
It's
still
actually
keep to
necessary. It's
yourself.
actually it's needed.
Take some time off.
Yeah.
Like you've been married for
I've been married going on 9 years now.
going on 9 years. So can you spend a month away from home?
It will be hard. I can, yes.
I know you can. You get what I'm saying?
Every
Because
guy
I know
should be
you.
able
I
to.
know you can. But when you put yourself in the position that, man, I can't do this, it almost gives your wife a sense of insecurity. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
I get
God,
what you're saying.
I have to follow up on this person
I get what
because
you're saying.
anything can
Could
happen.
happen.
Sometimes you need to train yourself and be able to know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Very unfortunate.
Because you
Dion
get what I'm
can't say
saying.
nothing
But,
about
but I'm
it.
sure you do
I've
as well.
stayed away from women for a long
Being
time.
away from your wife or her traveling and spending a long time away. That's why I said your relationship, your marriage has to be more than just sex. It's the other things that come with it.
Empathy.
There's other things that
That's
come
it.
with it. You get me?
Yes.
Worst case scenario for people like Dion, for example, you know, your hand works. So even if you're away, you can be able to do something,
That's why it's very handsome.
you know?
Yeah, because I've got a handful.
You know?
Hand jokes are getting out of
So, so you get where I'm coming from. So that lady should have basically done her homework. That guy was just trying to
But
use
I
her.
think he actually got married after they
So
were married.
So I think
Him and her.
the story was the guy got married to the lady, came back to Nigeria, and got married to someone
Exactly.
else. All right. So you see, the thing is this, and this is what I say. I'm not perfect, right?
Check this out. If
I'm
if
not
she
perfect.
followed him back, would he be able to marry somebody?
No, I don't
So let
think.
me ask you a
doubt
She
question.
trusted him.
Huh?
So let me ask you a question. You just said to me now that there was a point in your life that you needed to stay away from your family. Are you saying
I
that
work from in a different state.
in a different? That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So let's take for instance that the UK was another state, all right, and dude had to come back to Nigeria to work. Are you saying that she needed to follow him back? She couldn't give him the benefit of the doubt that
No,
he
but,
wouldn't.
but that's the thing.
I think when you're saying states, it's distance is understandable. What if you're moving back to Nigeria from the UK
So
for
did he
work?
move back? Did he move back, or he
did he just come?
visited?
Oh, okay, those
Do
are
you
two
understand what I'm
different
saying?
There are other
They're two
factors that play.
different things.
Zach, check this out. There are other factors that play. When he married her abroad, had she ever been back to Nigeria? Does
Is
he?
she from
Does she,
Nigeria?
does
Let
she,
me- let me
does she
actually-
know
I
his
suspect
family?
she's
She's
from
a
Nigeria. Yes,
citizen.
she's
Do you understand?
She's Nigerian.
Whatever
Nigerian,
she
but
is,
she's also a
whatever she is, how involved was his family in that wedding?
process.
So let me get it straight.
But that's only an
is
African
it a
thing. They
crime
shouldn't
for
really
a
be
woman to
involved.
allow her husband travel
No, it is not a crime.
to
In
visit
fact,
somewhere?
that is another level of trust.
Do you understand what I'm
It's a
saying?
crime when your husband is a
Okay,
randy
so I think I'm
mofo.
going to stand with Gang on that one, man. If she had friends in his family, if she had developed the right kind of relationships,
Yeah, which
you would not be
rarely
able to get
happens
married
in
to
most.
someone else,
Yeah.
and they would like agree to
Yeah,
that,
true.
knowing fully well.
So
that
wait, let
she's
me get
over
it
there.
straight. Is this guy Christian or Muslim?
It
That's
doesn't
another
matter.
thing.
Whatever
Yes,
he
it
does
does
matter.
matter.
He
The fact that
likes
she
to
did
know
not
He's
know
Christian.
about
He's
him.
Christian.
It does matter.
Yeah.
He's a lying Christian, a fake Christian.
So-
Listen.
Okay,
We
alright.
have to move on to our
Alright.
quick fire four
Okay.
before we get to our main topic. We've got only a little time. Time flies when you're on the black table. Listen to this one. Now, I gave birth on Saturday and returned home the same day. Strong woman. Power to you. My mother-in-law and her other kids came on Sunday and asked me to prepare swallow and soup for them. I had to go to the market to get things to prepare the food for them. This is somebody who only just had a baby a couple of days ago. And my husband didn't see anything wrong with it. I still feel so hurt even typing this message.
He married the husband.
Let me quickly chip something in. First and foremost, I think I apologize, but I need to set something straight. You don't have a child and come back to the house that same day.
Well, no.
You don't do that.
Actually, there's
Why?
some very strong women.
It's not about exactly.
some very
I don't
strong
care if
women.
you're She-Hulk.
So that's the thing. You can't be. Strong enough to have a baby today and come back home. You're only telling people that you are strong enough if
That guy is a weak rabbit, because why you marry somebody you can't protect?
so.
Why you
So
get married
I
to
didn't want
somebody
to
who
get
can't
into
protect
that. I didn't want to get into that because you see, a lot of men don't love their spouses. All right. See, I don't even want to get into that level. That's why I just
So they
I
just
needed to
marry
face
for
the-
companionship?
they-
Nope, not
people
even
don't-
companionship.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, they marry
People
for
marry
naps.
people to just give birth for them.
Exactly.
They don't care about the woman. They just care child.
Yeah.
How does a woman? I'm trying to imagine
calm
for the
down.
life
Let me
of
say
me,
this real quick.
How
Let me
do
impute
you?
this.
How do you? I'm sorry. This is very, very deep for me.
I know
because
why. I know
cherish
why.
children.
The pain, yeah.
How do
pause.
you
Listen.
allow somebody,
Let me give you some-
a
let me
woman,
give you a breather,
give
yeah.
birth to a child
Let me give
for
you. Let me add this fact.
and you are watching as the woman is cooking?
That's as good
hang
as
on a second,
murder.
Dick. Let me give this angle to it now. The thing about Nigerian men and mothers is another factor. It's another thing that you need to consider. Some people believe that I have to respect my mother up to the extent that my wife means nothing to me. So if my mother says you have to cook for me or for us, then you have to do it. Oh, my mother is coming. No. You relegate your wife because your mother is coming.
So let me ask you a question.
You forget that the holy books actually say that when you get married, you leave your parents. And then
I
you're
was
one
just
with your
about to
wife.
say that the
She's
Bible
very-
says that a man shall leave his father. Why do you see that a lot of men allow their family members to insult their wives?
Yeah.
And I tell people that the moment you allow people to insult your wife,
You're okay with being insulted.
they're insulting you. That's what you don't understand.
Here's another
So I
angle.
won't allow someone insult me, so I will not allow you to insult
No matter
or
who
speak
you are,
to my
whether you're my
wife.
mother.
You know, that's not going to happen.
True.
Here's
That
the
is
thing.
not gonna
I
happen.
also believe that, to an extent, this woman should have known the family she was marrying into. Do you understand? She should have been able to experience her mother-in-law and the other kids and her other in-laws.
What if she trusts her husband who would be there for
but
her?
you know we
But
already
We'll
wait,
hold
did.
her down.
listen, this is what I'm
You know we
saying.
already did this, guys.
Yes, but this is what I'm saying.
That's
You are a
correct.
woman that has given birth that day, returned home that same day. And then what relationship do you have with your in-laws that they will demand you do all of these things?
Why?
The way it doesn't even make sense.
Why?
doesn't
Like,
actually.
to
And
what
here's the funny
end?
thing. If you knew them that well, even you will be able to question, Mommy, is everything all right? Not be Omugo, you can't do that. I'm
I don't
That I'm the one
understand.
that's supposed to cook for you.
Even you'll be like, even your husband,
But
you'll
is
be
that a
wondering,
tradition?
What part of
Because
Nigeria?
I don't
because we
know.
have we have
because
some
you see,
traditions
you might
that
not
are
know
very
because most of your people may be aborted because they're not there yet. So you don't know what it feels like.
I promise you none of them have.
But for my wife, I know what my wife went through with my first daughter and my second
Yeah.
kid. To go to market, to even walk outside the house,
you
it can't
understand
happen.
what I'm saying?
to question
To
the
go outside
credibility
itself,
of
it can't
the
happen.
story. So I'm not
Of
going
the
to say.
no,
I'm not
so
gonna say
no, I'm
much.
not going to question. I'm not going to question.
don't doubt that. I just want to know where
But
they're
I
from.
want to ask if it was
It's disgusting.
cultural.
She needs to
or
let you ask.
traditional.
She's-
Maybe, the last time I was here, I spoke about the fact that, in my culture, when a woman serves a man, she is required to sit with him, watch him eat. When he's done eating, she will pack the plates. It's tradition. I don't do that with my wife. My wife doesn't even do that. My wife,
where are you from?
In fact, I'm from Edo State, from Benin, from Usain.
yeah.
And a lot of that, I pack it myself and I go and wash it because I feel like she has
She's
cooked.
done her part.
She has done
Why
her
does not
part.
do your
She has
part?
done my own part.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that, right? So if it is traditional for the woman to cook on the day that she delivers, it's a different thing
very
entirely.
I don't. There's no
difficult to
tradition like that. Let's
Listen,
not lie.
guys,
So I don't-
let's do a
because I
quick
don't
break
get
here.
it.
We've
There's
got
no
only a
tradition
little
like
time to
that.
discuss our main topic, which is something very, very heated and has been a buzz on social media. So let's take a quick break. When we get back, we'll be talking about this very interesting topic. I'll save it till when we're back.
As a guy, when it comes to every decision you're taking, ask yourself, who am I and how is this going to impact on my person? Bro code.
Welcome back. So over the week, there has been this heated debate on social media about this guy who's perhaps maybe taken a fellow friend or friend to public jury, I'll put it that way. This guy comes on social media and says that this girl accused me of wanting to sleep with her, raping her actually. And he reported this case to the police station. The police were quite inactive about it, and then he put that up on social media, talking about the fact that if it was a girl that talked about being raped, it will be the other way around, and that, you know, we're not respecting the fact that a man is the one who's talking about this and bringing this to the fore here, especially with the authorities. However, the situation has gone to the left. Let's put it that way, because people are beginning to ask. Now, this girl suggested that, hey, you could rape me. And he took that suggestion, put it on social media, make her make a public apology for suggesting to rape her. He didn't rape her. He took this to the police station. They said, okay, I would think, there's no case here, is what many people are saying. However, what the police have done that is not correct is the fact that they were quite inactive about it. However, since it's been on social media, they have shown some level of activity regarding it. However, do you think that there's a case? This girl did not say, you raped me. She suggested that you could rape me. And that is the currency he's using to now sort of put up on social media and asking people to judge or adjudge this case. I said this on the morning show here on Wake Up Nigeria. I said, for the fact that there was no crime committed, it was only a suggestion. I do not think that it should go as far as this whole public jury and wanting to manipulate the situation to make the girl seem bad. I know that what she did in suggesting it was already sort of like bad on its own, but she didn't. If it was me, I'd say, okay, fine, I'm reporting this case to the police. You need to take action. Invite her over to the police station. Write a statement.
Probably give her a warning or something.
Exactly, and that's where it should die. But it's gone on and on and on and on. Now it's beginning to seem like as if she actually did accuse him of rape.
Zeno,
you heard the story, yeah?
I heard the story, and it's
so she didn't even accuse him.
No, she suggested that you could rape me.
It's very unfortunate in this circumstance. But I'm coming from a different angle now. I think we men, we have messed up so much to the other gender.
Oh, you women?
No, we have messed up.
You said we men.
We.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said women too.
No, not we. Okay.
We
men.
Well, let's say us men. I'm like, I
Okay,
don't wrong.
men.
It's wrong linguistically.
Us men. We've messed up so much that we've put women in such a crazy predicament where they don't feel safe amongst men. We've heard of so many rape victims that don't even want to come out because of the stigma.
What is rape exactly? First off,
it's I would say
where there's a lack of consent.
Yes.
When it comes to sex.
Yes.
Yes. In this case, however, it wasn't like as if anything happened. They were not physically in one place.
This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
In this story,
You know, honestly, if this is my personal opinion, it doesn't matter. It wouldn't have been a big issue if he didn't bring it to the authorities.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Sometimes just be a man. You already enjoy so many things in society as being a man, and he has the evidence that if it ever comes up, he can disprove it.
Does he have an evidence? Does he have the evidence in this instance right now? Where is the evidence?
See, listen.
I'm sorry, but I don't
Sorry, Dion, let me put this clear. The only evidence that this was even a thing, that anything of the sort could have happened, was an apology that she made on social media that he made her make.
Good.
And that is the currency he's now using, that yes, she did.
Let me tell you what's happening, Dion, and before you say what you want to say, in this day and age, things have gone so down the rabbit hole that consent is crazy. There's situations whereby you can penetrate a female with consent, and while penetrating, she can say, stop now.
And if you are a second late,
discontinue. And every other pump after that is considered. You get where I'm coming from?
Yes,
That's
I
how far
agree
it has
with you.
gone.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes when things don't work in men's favor, sometimes if nothing is coming at you, suck it up as a man and just be like, thank God this thing happened. And this is what I'm telling you from experience.
Yeah.
From my personal experience, there's certain ways, and you guys might have to check yourselves after this. There's sometimes you feel that your experience with a woman is the same experience she had.
Yeah, exactly. True.
A woman might feel as if I really don't want to do this right now, but I'm scared to
say no.
say no. Understand? I'm drunk now. I'm under the influence.
I was taking advantage
I don't know
of.
what's happening, but I don't want this to happen. I don't know what will happen if I decide to fight him off. So your experience is like, oh, I met this girl. She wants
We
me.
got
She
down.
has me. We got down. In her mind, it's like, I don't want to be with this guy, but it's in the middle of the night.
What do I
and
do
he's-
if-
Get it over
You
with.
get me? So for her story might be no consent, and you're there thinking you have consent. So the tables can change. I would love to hear what you have to say.
So,
Yeah, what do you think?
I hear you, right? And I'm not going to say none of what you said is actually true. Women have been through a lot because of men. But at the same time, let's not just run over the fact that a lot of men mentally right now are in a cage because of this same situation. This guy decided to scream out like a little bitch because he's heard of so many incidences, especially like in the past 10 years. A lot of stories have gone up on social media about this rape thing. There was some guy who had the same incident. The guy killed himself, man.
Yeah, true.
Couldn't take what was going on. And then this girl, from what I even found out, because I had to do some deep searching into the story, there was something that went on with them about some money.
About
She would always
money,
come and
yeah.
take money from him. And,
Exactly.
when
I
he would
forgot to add that part.
want to ask for the money back, she would bring up that situation. That's you mentally fucking with him.
Yeah.
Let me put that in here. He borrowed her money. He asks back for the money, and in some instances, she's like, "Do you want me to bring the money or something like that? If I bring it, yeah, you could rape me now."
What are you
So
saying?
the question is this: did he invite her over to bring the money? This happened when she was 17, by the way. This was years ago, and he was 20 at the time. And it's taking this is tarried till up until now. But he was 21 at the time, rather. First of 17 underage. Why is a 17-year-old bringing 40,000 naira back to your house? Is anybody asking that question? Why do you want her to bring
Did
it
he
over?
ask her to bring
I
it to
don't
the
know.
house?
I don't know. But if there was, whether invitation or not, that there was supposed to be an instance where you and her were supposed to be alone in the house. Yeah, it's kind of like somehow.
Another question.
Which
why did she need the money? From his
for her
family,
mother,
like,
for her
family
mother,
paid
for her
the money back
mother's,
to him.
yeah, and the money has been paid. Now, my grouse here, Dick, is the fact that he made her make an apology, and that is the only seeming evidence of this matter. There were no texts or recordings or anything that she said, I'm going to tell people that you tried to rape me or anything. It was only that apology. There's no other evidence. Now it's all over social media, and this girl, very young girl, is trying to fight for her reputation. Let's put it that way. I do not hide the fact that men, we are in a predicament where the fact is, once there's a rape allegation against you, it's
You're
you
done.
against the world.
You're done, actually. You're done.
The fact is that it is always the women, in most cases, that would be empathized with, or that people will sympathize with, whether you like it or not. That's very unfortunate. But in this instance, there was no action to that evidence that, shows that she actually said that she actually accused you of rape. She suggested.
Zeno, why did she make the video? Why do you think she made the video?
I think she was manipulated into making the video.
So it
Quite
wasn't. It
frankly.
wasn't also a question
And
of
I'm
her
not
conscience
absolving her of
eating her
any.
up.
I'm not absolving her of any wrongdoing. However, if she suggested that, she could have gone ahead and actually accused
That's a very
him.
good question, right? When you said that, was she coerced into doing that video, right? If she did it out of her own volition, then we must be missing something.
Yeah.
All right? Now, one of our quick fire topics we're talking about, and I talked about the fact that, there's a social construct about men and women.
Yeah.
Where we tend to want to elevate women.
Yeah, it's not
over
balanced.
men,
Yeah.
right? And we've all accepted it to be right. We open doors for women, ladies first.
Yes, we do.
Do we have laws
Against rape for men.
in Nigeria?
I've never asked that question, actually.
These are the things that we need to begin to ask ourselves. All right? So let me give you an example. You did say that the police haven't really seemed to, talk about, or I don't know, they have not decided that, okay, we needed to take up this case. Because, like you said, is there a case here? What case are we looking at?
It's simply he said,
So let
she
me
said.
ask you a question. So if a lady accuses you of rape, is there a law that says that that person who accuses somebody
Wrongfully.
wrongfully is liable for
That
this?
goes without saying. Even if there's no direct law, there are
Do you understand
laws.
what I'm
There are
saying?
laws
I
on the
understand what you're
statute,
saying,
yeah.
but that's also why I said, to an extent, the
I don't know.
discussion
Yeah.
of rape is so it's so sensitive. That even if a woman falsely accused you or accurately accused you, you don't want any of that publicity and word out there.
Because
That's
let me
why
tell
I
you
said
something.
him as a man.
Let me tell
that
you
you have
something.
this level of evidence with the apology and everything. You don't have to take it to authorities anymore. Bury it and just be like, everybody.
that-
so
I
let
go
me
and
tell
check
you
on this.
something.
that.
Yeah, so let me tell you
No, sorry,
something.
Dick. I disagree with you on that one. I think that yes, he should have gone to the authorities. Yes, the authorities should have invited the lady over and tried to get some investigation at least. At least
That's
to say,
what I would have
we know
expected
that
from the police."
you suggested so and so,
Right.
and in the advent of anything happening in this case, in this direction that you actually accuse him of, we already know, and that's in our records. That was okay, but it just
The
it's so-
insensitivity. That's why some things are settled out of court. Some things don't exactly need to
an
be
apology
brought
wouldn't have
to
done to me.
See,
For me, is what I'm saying.
she never made it public.
He shouldn't
It was
have
not
any-
public. He made the knowledge public.
Exactly.
We wouldn't be talking
Guys,
about this
hold
if
on.
he
The
didn't
issue
make it
is
public.
why he pressed
Yeah.
on it. Why did she make
So my
that
question
video?
is, wait, hold on. My question
think
is
she was
this.
coerced or
whether
manipulated.
or not she made the video. If we are going to look at this properly, right? Whether or not she made the video. What if she actually wrongfully accused him?
She never
Not,
did.
That's what I'm saying. What if she
What if she
did?
went ahead to?
Is it a crime?
It is a crime. Yes, it is a crime.
Wrongful accusation.
Yes,
It's
yes.
in the crime
It should
for
that
be.
is a
developed
crime.
countries.
It
You
should
would
be.
serve jail time
Yes.
for
That's
false
what I'm
accusation.
saying.
Yes.
In Nigeria, is it a crime? So if we take
It
that,
should be. It is
if
a
we
crime.
take, wait, hold on. So if
Not
we
should
take
be, it is.
if we take it to the law, will that girl pay for it?
How many
I
cases
believe
have
that she
actually
will.
In
come up
Nigeria,
where
I
a
believe that
situation like
in
that
Nigeria.
happened?
It might be-
And the person
Zeno, hold on.
accused the
You
person
said
of what happened
something.
to
You
jail. How
said
many cases?
something. You said the police didn't seem to want to do anything
Yeah, they were
about
quite
it because
inactive.
I don't think that there was really.
They don't have an understanding of the matter.
True.
Do you
They don't
understand
know
what
what
I'm
to do
saying?
about it.
They don't know
So you
what to do
feel that
because
the
when they
laws
don't
are
feel
not-
like that. There are no laws
So Dek, you say
against
the laws are not
They can't
wrongful
forward
accusation for
regarding
men.
that. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So
We don't enjoy
in-
that privilege.
So
But there
I
are
think
laws for false accusation.
no,
for false
false
yes.
accusation is totally different. We're talking about rape right now.
Okay, so-
if somebody wrongfully accuses you of rape, all right, do we have laws that say, okay, if a lady comes to you and says that you raped me, and for some reason or the other you're able to prove that
You know
you
what?
did not?
I think we'll understand it better if we come from personal experiences. Have you heard or had any of these experiences at all? No matter how how distant you were from the situation, have you had any experience? Right now, nobody's saying.
Okay, let's start with me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me break the
In the
ice.
back, please.
This was a long time ago. I've been with somebody, and unfortunately for myself, we were both under the influence. Right? Nothing went down at the end of the day, but things almost went down. And like I said earlier on, my perception of things were different from her perception of things. And it was later on that she now sent me a message and said she wasn't really comfortable with what almost happened. You get where I was coming from?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I felt demoralized. I felt down. I was like, what are you saying? There were certain things I was doing to you where you were not complaining. You were basically in the zone.
Egging me on.
Do you understand? So I felt to continue to,
Explore.
to explore. feel as if this was about to go
Which
down.
is how natural
things
you
happen.
get to natural coitus.
You get where I'm coming from? Only for you to say this later. So I had no idea you felt that way. So when she was saying all of that, in my mind, I was like, oh, snap. What exactly
We would have forgiven
are you trying to say? Because I know I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'll never force myself on anyone. I believe there was a certain amount of consent. And then that's why in this day and age, thank God I'm married now, so I don't have to be with anybody else. But just some advice for people out there. If you have to make them sign a form to record them saying yes, you might have to do that. You might have to
So
do
you
that.
said something earlier on, right? You do know that if we're going to look at rape in its word, the spectrum to look at it is too wide.
Very wide.
Right? It's too wide. You do know that you don't have to penetrate a person to rape a person, right?
True.
Did you know?
No, that's
So
what
I've heard.
No. Yes.
For rape to happen, there
So
must be penetration.
no.
The reason why a man
That's
cannot
what
be
you-
raped
So that's you see.
by a woman.
But that's not true.
But that's the law.
That's not true.
That's the way penetration must occur.
I've heard just
Yeah,
a
hold
bit
on.
of slight aggression.
Aggression, that's assault.
fondling, doing
That's
that
assault. That's
fondling,
assault.
aggression.
Yes, it's rape. So
Penetration does not have to be with
So,
your
hold on,
penis.
hold on.
However,
Zero.
it could be it could be your fingers.
I watch a lot of SVU,
So you said, while you were talking, you said that you do know that after the penetration, and she says stop,
Any other
every other penetration is an illegal penetration. So from the moment she says stop, and you continue, it's rape.
Pump fake.
It's rape.
If she says,
while you're doing this,
if you says stop, the next thing you hear is
remove it. You understand what I'm saying?
But everybody.
Now, at that point, right? How do you say that you did not rape the girl when you penetrated?
Because everybody knows that.
we can take your messages that you sent in. Remember, if you're still going to do that, use the hashtag #TheBlackTable on TVC. We're talking about this instance about the lady who suggested a rape accusation to her, and the guy who's, let's just call it his crying wolf. But we'll be right back to take your messages. Do send them in already. Yeah, let's do this.
You always take the blame. On the first date, second date, and third date. Bro code.
Welcome back. There's so much we could talk about, but we can't. I was going to give certain instances about a personal friend of ours, if you know him. And when this accusation came up about you,
I already know who you're talking about.
It really tore him apart, and I don't think he's the same person. Truth is, quite frankly, as men, we rarely win when it comes to these accusations, whether it's true or false. So I understand the guy's motive to want to clear his name, but it's taken a bit too far, and now it's beginning to seem like he's the one who's taking advantage of the lady. He's the one who's trying to destroy her reputation. She did something wrong, but you're pushing it too far. This is not Minority
But the
Report.
table has turned
It's
now.
about time one of them
The
took
table
the
has
too now.
turned.
So maybe we actually need this conversation. Maybe we actually needed this instance so people can see that, yes, as men, we do have the right to also cry out.
But that's why I
So
said
what's the deterrent?
That's why I said at the beginning.
You also tell a
society-
quick story. We don't have any time, but tell that story real
So
quick.
this happened
Just
a long
1
while
minute.
back. I remember this chick. I think she was Igbo Onye. So this one time,
You
remember
think?
Yeah, no, she's
You
Igbo,
dropped
she's
the
Igbo
name?
Onye.
Come
Yeah,
on.
no, I'm not scared of her. She's come for me now. So I remember this was early 2000 or something, and then we're about to hit it off. I strap up my, my cockload, and then
Click.
boom, we're about to get it in. And then at some
Boom, you
point,
came? Or
no,
okay,
no,
no,
boom, we're about to get it in. At some point,
Sorry.
trying to shove it, and then I kind of just slip. The next thing this babe did was she just jumps up, and she just looks at me very weirdly. It's like, you wanted to choke my bum bum. I kid you not. And I was just I was like, okay, it was an accident.
I slipped.
Wrong hole.
And like, she just looks at me like a terrible person. And I'm there looking like, what did I do? And I'm freaking like, what, did I do something wrong? Should I still go on? And then she just wears her clothes and she's like, no, I'm leaving.
Wrong hole.
And that was like the first time
simple case
I tried
of
to
the
get
wrong
baby to the
hole.
house. That's got into the house. And I didn't do anything. So I feel bad.
Yeah, I can
In my mind, I'm
imagine.
like, brother, you ripped the wrong hole, man.
All right, real quick, let's get into the messages here. Adbimbo says, "Hey Mazino, howdy, good to see you all again. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, I agree with Dion. That woman's husband is a weak rabbit and in addition a super idiot. And for me, that is a ground for divorce because the moment you cannot protect me from the ills of your family, your family's throwing at me, then what else is there? Yeah, there's a whole lot.
True.
I agree with you. Real quick, Action says, "Hey Mazino, this topic is causing fight right now with boyfriend because he's saying what is there and why can't I cook for his family when I give birth? I'm here looking at him and the end of the future of the and the end of the future of the relationship because after 2 years and I hear this, God forbid, amen. Thank you guys very much. So we have." Just exposed
We just ruined the relationship.
Did we save it?
We have exposed
We've saved
people's
it.
reality.
We saved it.
We didn't ruin it, we saved it.
We have
It's
exposed
common
people's
sense.
realities. Yeah.
I mean, women out there who have had children
Right.
would understand what it means to have a child and go back home that
Are you
same
kidding
day
me?
and be asked to go to the
Are you
market.
saying-
I want to extract that from the story. I mean, I don't know whether it's the same. I don't know how believable that is. So I'm not. But the fact that you would put your mother over your wife is what I'm. For me, it's like.
For me, it just goes to show
I want
how
messages
much
about
you
our
love,
our
how much you
topic.
love
I want messages about
wife.
the instance, the rape instance we're talking about. But let me read. Outlook is here again. Outlook, thank you very much for being our most consistent responder. Thank you very much. Outlook.com says, "Hey Mazino, how far of all the topics you discussed today, this last quick fire should have been our main topic, because no family member of mine will try this nonsense with my wife. All ties will be cut. That's all," he says.
I think we should come back and discuss it again
Yeah, perhaps. Maybe
I
we
don't
should.
mind.
as a main topic.
Perhaps, yeah, we should do that actually. Adbenga says, "Mazino, they never born the girl. We go accuse me falsely. We go die there." I wish there was a bit more body to that. If you can send in some more, then I really get that. So, which one of these quick messages you want to go on now?
The last one, the guy that says they never born the girl. You know, the only reason why he's saying that is because it has not happened to him.
Oh, leave him now. He never.
And that is
Because nobody will listen to you. That's the
Exactly,
truth.
because truth be told,
nobody will listen
it's
to you.
like what I said earlier on. Your experience is different from the female's experience. You might think this is consent, but it's not. So in this day and age, you need to confirm and know that, we're going back to my place. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to engage in.
Why is that the first thing that comes to most women? Well, most aggrieved or disgruntled, I don't know how to put it. Women, when they want to, get something on the guy, why is it the rape allegation?
Because, like I
Is it
said,
because we've given it too much?
we have.
much strength
Society
in it.
has allowed men to enjoy so many privileges that women feel the only way I can get back at a man is through some
Accuse
sexual
him of-
point. Even when you're
And
fighting with a
because you
girl
know
that
that
wants-
once that is thrown at you, that you're done for.
No, but here's the thing. Even when a girl is fighting with you, this is not even about rape. A girl is fighting with you. What does she do? She
Denies you
insults.
sex.
She insults your manhood.
Yeah, you fought
She
each-
insults your
Look at you.
manhood. She insults how long you
guy.
last in
Because it
bed
gets to us.
and so many things. So men are always attacked, but on a sexual preference when it comes to male and female quarrels and stuff
Yeah.
like
So
that.
I'm so sorry, but let me ask you a question. In developed countries, how many women wrongfully accuse
Oh, it
men?
happens a lot.
It
happens everywhere.
Remind me
No, I'll
of the
tell
case
you,
of the
how
footballers.
many?
Oh, you mean Greenwood?
Yeah,
I'll tell you
exactly.
why. Because in developed countries, they actually investigate
Thank
these
you.
things.
So that's where the police instance now comes
How many people
in.
investigate rape in Nigeria?
I do not think that our police.
I don't think we have the means.
You know
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to
So how do
say,
we-
I'm
how
going
do
to
we-
say,
how do we-
I'm going to say in the law, there is probably a part where these guys who are supposedly trained don't actually study, because you can't say
In
it's not
Nigeria.
there.
See, here's another thing.
I would say
Here's
they don't
another
study.
angle.
But you know the funny thing was, I think I heard some time ago that they actually tried to investigate rape. So that happens the day it happens. I think there's Lagos State has this.
Hang on a second. I just realized something. Did you know that in developed countries,
Right.
even if I say you murdered that guy and I don't have evidence to show, there's no fingerprint.
O.J. Simpson. I was
for
just about to say
instance,
that.
Shout out to him.
the guy walked. Even if everybody, even if you wrote a book, even if you wrote a book at how I did it, if you don't have evidence, then you have a no case. And that's
because
what I'm trying to-
here's
that's what I'm trying to
saying.
apply to
Even,
this
even,
story
even,
now.
even when the
That's what
law
I'm saying.
acquits you of that charge, you can't be charged again for that
Exactly.
same
Of
thing.
course. So in
But
this case,
unfortunately,
in this case, in the
Nigeria-
beginning, there was no evidence at all. The only thing being held as evidence is the apology that she
That's why
manipulated
I
into
was saying I
giving.
watch a lot of SVU.
They still have something
and
they haven't told
and
us.
here's the thing.
So- okay.
For me, it's like if you and unfortunately with social media, this guy, and this is the point I'm trying to pass across, he decided to make this public when it's something that could have been settled between the video that he got her to post, things he got her to say,
And the police.
her family, the police. They could have sorted it out. Social media didn't need to know. Now the problem is, if you Google his name and rape, it comes up. And a lot of people don't want to hear or associate with you, even if you were found not guilty. The fact that your name comes up in that kind of situation, that's why I was telling him, as a man, sort it out yourself and don't exactly make these things public.
Guy.
There's so many things that I would never make public,
Guy.
even if I'm innocent of it.
I would like to apologize to our viewers that we don't have enough time to discuss this. It's almost Saturday morning. Gang, you giving us just a tip. However, I am going to ask the producers that we actually have this topic again next week, so that we can really sink our teeth. I believe that this is not going to go away even up
not.
until then. So perhaps we will have it as one of our quick fires as a follow-up to tonight. Gang, what a day to actually ask you to give us
No, I'll be nice with this.
just the tip.
Whatever you do, don't shove it in the bum bum. Don't shove it in the bum bum.
Just the tip, gang.
Always, okay, so look at right in the camera. Always seek consent. Always look for the word yes. Always look for YES. Even if you can get it on paper or for some reason, always let the person know your intentions. And if
the
the
start.
person agrees, go along with it. But once you hear the word no, you stop. You stop.
Listen, gang, I couldn't say it better myself. Thank you very much. That was very, very, very apt. And we've come to the end of the show here today. I do not feel that we had enough time. An hour went by like that. I can't believe that it's already midnight already. But thank you very much for joining us and sticking around every single time, coming over to join us as we drink. And you guys, perhaps, I'm hoping that you have yours as well. Join us again next week. If you didn't start the show early with us, you can always see it on YouTube where we posted. And you can leave comments on there. We could take these comments next week when we get in first thing. So please do that, okay? If you are only just joining us, leave your comments under the video for on YouTube, and we'll be taking them first thing next week, Friday, when we start the show on all of the topics that we've touched on. Thank you very much, Mr. Dion. Gang, thank you very much. Gang, yeah, whatever. We'll catch you guys again next week. Good night, or is it good morning? Bye-bye.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas. It shows in the canvas. It
Every time I wake up, I pray make my money does a pile up. Make blessings come my way. Make my enemies a bow down. Because when money not there, nobody go like you. And when money come there, everybody go love you. I think oh, one see, lucky guys, hey. went today. And you're more like in self-made, yes, blowing more. This money must be made, legal, illegal. This money not by force. That's why boys know the great thing. I want my life for tomorrow. If you know where we go plus time.
I really do not want you to worry about food. Weekly, I'm a supply. Now, the most important, which is the reason why you all are here, is this ministry.
Now, hey boys, Sherry, more like sorrow. Nítorí pé kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣe kókó nípa ọ̀rọ̀ tá a fẹ́ sọ. Kọ́lé mi ò sọ. Ṣé ìgbà tí mo sọ yé ń sìn? Sherry gbogbo kan tá a fi wọ̀n yìí, ẹ̀kan kékeré. Sherry studio tó wà níbí báyìí. Reality studio lásán ni. The main studio ó wà ní Island. Bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ẹ rí. Sherry the main studio yẹn. Èmi tó wáyé kọ́ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni last week.
Bàbá serious.
Ṣé láti the next week lọ whiskey dín pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Are you kidding? Of course, sure. Yeah, òun náà bọ̀ ní next month. Sherry kan tá a fẹ́ kẹ́ ṣe fún wa òun ni wípé kẹjọ tó lọ lọ you guys should work hard for us. Bàbá kò lábò máa pọ̀ gan ni. Bàbá ẹ̀ sí máa sọ wíṣkì dùn. Wíṣkì dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ wẹ́wẹ́ o. Ó bẹ́ẹ̀ tó mọ̀. Ok, na tó máa pín mọ́tò fún wa ta ló máa wọ. Èmi máa wá sọ. Ó ṣe bá fún jọ. Ọ̀gá sọ̀rọ̀.
Well, meanwhile, you.
Hey guys, wọ́n kí gbọ́ wà ní Africa at the moment, right? Ẹ jọ pé ẹ̀yin ẹ má dey come this opportunity sincerely and to manage a lot of people. And Catholic jail and promoters kò easy. They are internationally known. Ẹ kẹ́ ẹ̀ jọ dáadáa. In fact, wọ́n ní ká máa dẹ́rù pa àwọn tàti manage àbí kí ló
rose. Bàbá ní ká máa dárúkọ. Ó yẹ kó lè dárúkọ. But bàbá ní ká dárúkọ náà yìí lọ́wọ́ àwọn kan fún mi máa bí. Ṣé wàá rí ẹjẹ́ sọ fún ọkọ̀ fún mi? Ẹ má bẹ̀ sí àwọn kọ̀mọ́tà. Ẹ má ṣe ọ̀la no matter what. Kò síbi tẹ́ ẹ dé àwọn alágbé yín jáde. Ó ṣàtìlẹ́ ẹ ṣe dáadáa ẹ ṣe náà. Ẹ ṣe ti gbọ́
agbáwo
make yourself comfortable. Ẹ má gbàgbé nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ fún mi. Kókókó. You all are here to take over the music industry. You all should make yourselves comfortable. And do not forget what I told you. You're here to take over the music industry. Yes.
Anywhere I go, man, I dey control. About before Mama Long by attitude, man.
Wọ́n ti fi kùbá àgbàyàwó ẹlòmíì. Wọ́n ti mọ́mọ́ ẹlòmíì, wọ́n ti gbé sáré. Ẹlòmíì ti pàdé ẹlòmíì nígboro. Oríta ìyàkú ọmọ sọnù, ẹ ti gbàlejò ọmọ ìyá mi. Oríta ìyàkú ọmọ sọnù. Wọ́n ti fi kùbá, wọ́n ti fi gbàyàwó.
Ṣé ó mọ̀ jà ní?
Industry ti gbàlejò.
Ọmọ ìyá mi, pàmò tùlù ká máa fi gbé.
Hey
ṣe fún èmi jẹ́ mo ṣe fún dáadáa mo kọ́ lè fún yín àwọn ẹ̀ lálẹ́ tó lè lé yìí ọmọ máa ń gbọ́ gbòdògbò ní dáhà bá ti wá máa padà jẹ́ ni ó ti yé ni owó ẹ̀ wà.
wọ́n bí mo rap lọ́wọ́ mi nínú map olúwa ló wà lẹ́yìn mi ló ti lọ mú mi shout ẹni mo ẹ̀ fit gbogbo yín ni ma beat they want to be my friend torí wọ́n rí pé mo kid kí ló ṣe wọ́n ní mo rap ìṣèríkì ọmọ kan ló gbọ́rin mi tó ń làbó líkì gbogbo láṣẹ wọn náà sí epo kínkín sí náà everybody náà gẹ́gẹ́ fún mi àdùkẹ́ ìlọ̀gà pọ̀mọpọ̀mọ ọmọ mi ló ti dà